Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where we will have a moment of silence because we don't know if John Cena is going to have a match at WrestleMania. It's lost in the Midcard. Welcome to our Elimination Chamber review show. We're going to break down the chamber, break it down. A predictable chamber, but a fun night, I think we probably could say. We'll break down each match, let you know what our thoughts were, let you know where we're heading as we're heading onto that road to WrestleMania. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. What you got to do, if you haven't done so already, is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way every Thursday and every Monday after a double E pay-per-view. Thanks, Kurt. You can also subscribe to us on that YouTube. The links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard, on the pinned post there, the pinned tweet at LITMC Podcast on the Twitter, where we also share a lot of the great tweets from the wrestling world. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. As always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at RawFShowtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, have you canceled your subscription to the WWE Network already?
Why?
Just kidding. How's it going, man?
It's going all right. The show was fine.
Yeah.
Like, it was exactly what I expected it to be. But I got a couple good matches out of it, and at that point, that's all I was really hoping for at that point.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty solid pay-per-view overall. Contract signing was pretty solid.
I enjoyed that contract signing a lot.
Yeah, I think they set it up. They set it up in a way on paper we didn't care for the match. Now we kind of care for the match. So I thought overall it was fun. Let's get into it. We kicked the show off with a Corey Graves and Booker T joke to kick off the kickoff show, huh?
Yeah, they didn't waste any time doing the wink, wink, nudge, nudge of that, did they?
Yeah, and if you follow Booker on Instagram, you saw that he got his hands on Corey backstage. Yeah. So, fun was had by all. On the kick, what's that?
Debatable.
Yeah, I guess so. On the kickoff show, the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson took on them nerds of Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel from the Miz Tourage. Nice little 10-minute match. I don't think the outcome was in doubt here. I think Gallows and Anderson and Revival probably feuding for the number one contender spot here at WrestleMania, don't you think?
Man, I don't know what they're gonna do with the tag division at WrestleMania. It could end up being a multi-tag team match at this point. Like, I don't really feel like the direction of the tag team division going into WrestleMania is very clear. They can pretty much, do whatever the hell they want with it.
Yeah, it looks like on SmackDown they clearly want to have probably Usos and New Day. They're going to face at Fastlane, and who knows? I mean, New Day may win because remember your theory. They want to break the demolition record, not demolition.
I predict the Bludgeon Brothers are going to come in and wreck that match.
Make that a multi-team match.
I think it's going to be a no contest, and I think the three of those teams will face off at WrestleMania, and the New Day probably get the titles there.
Yeah, what record is that they're trying to break? Tag reigns.
Yeah, I just don't remember whose.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm too tired to remember right now.
Yeah, pay-per-view went a little long, and Then we had Raw talk after that. Gallows and Anderson win with the Magic Killer after 10 minutes. The Revival were interviewed backstage of their thoughts. And then Paul Heyman shows up on the kickoff panel to do a quick little promo. And so there you go. We kick off the Elimination Chamber. As the Chamber's coming down, it's time for the women to make history with the 21st ever Elimination Chamber match. And Alexa Bliss comes out first as the Raw Women's Champion. And Cole mentions that she's been champ for 181 days. And this is her first title defense since October 30th on pay-per-view or television. Insane. We thought that was crazy with Brock Lesnar. Sasha is out next, followed by Mickie James. And then Absolution coming out together, Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. Paige leading them out before she heads to the back. Rose goes in the pod, so Deville is starting off with Bayley one-on-one. And so those two girls go at it. And, Matt, pretty predictable that probably that Mandy Rose is coming in third, huh?
Yeah, they laid out both Chambers' order of entrance were very predictable, but I don't really think that any of that took away from any of the matches.
No. So Bayley had to fight off both members of Absolution for 5 minutes until, hey, look, Sasha Banks comes in at number 4 and evens up the odds somewhat until Sasha helps Bayley up on top of the chamber, and only to knock her down, Matt. Uh-oh. Now, do you think that was
dumb?
Yeah, because the men.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking dumb.
The men did it too with Roman and Seth.
Yeah, it was dumb when both of them did it, and I feel like they almost forced the men to do it so the women didn't look dumb afterwards.
Yeah, maybe.
But it was just plain dumb. It didn't make any sense.
No.
I don't really understand what they thought that they were accomplishing with that. But whatever. It's WWE. Sometimes they do things that just don't make any sense. And in both times in both matches, like the common theme of two friends should be working together to take out the bigger threat so they can throw down at the end and they both turn on each other. Logically, like, neither match's point of that didn't make any sense. But, it's WWE. Sometimes you just have to deal with it.
Yeah, when you look up logic in the dictionary, you don't see WWE in the definition there too often, do you?
Well, not normally.
Banks then avoids the Rose kick and slaps on the Banks statement. And Bayley hit a running knee on Sonya Deville to keep her from preventing the tap out. And Mandy Rose, my crazy pick to win it all, gets eliminated first. Whoops. So Mandy out by Sasha Banks. Mickie James is in at number 5. She got the early advantage, being the fresh woman in the match. And a pretty sweet Fez press off the top of the chamber by Mickie James to eliminate Sonya Deville. And just like that, Absolution goes out 1-2, Matt. You figuring that was going to be the case?
I didn't want it to be the case, but it was the least surprising outcome that they could have given me.
Yeah.
So they went with what I expected, not what I hoped for.
Kind of interesting if Paige would have been in that match, what would have happened. But
well, I think the women's Raw road to WrestleMania was thrown for a loop when Paige's injury happened. I definitely think everything's been played a different way ever since that occurred. But there's not a whole lot of anything you can do about that. injuries happen, unfortunately, and it really sucks. It happens on the road to WrestleMania. Sucks even worse. This injury seems to be a permanent one, and the poor girl's never going to get to wrestle again.
Yeah.
So,
as James was celebrating, Banks hit a backstabber, and Bayley hit the Bayley to belly. So, Mickey, nice job celebrating. You're out, and so just Bayley and Sasha Banks in the chamber. And they both stare down Alexa Bliss as the last woman to enter the match comes in, and I thought it was a fun little unique spot. Bliss trying to play keep away on the chamber. I liked it, Matt.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, it all made sense until Sasha turned on Bayley.
Yeah, there was that.
It was just like derp. No, we both want to take this person out, so one of us can be the new champ. But nah, fuck it.
Nah, I'm just gonna.
I'm just gonna be stupid instead. Like I couldn't have just turned on you tomorrow, or after we defeated Alexa Bliss. I just couldn't have kicked your ass then. It's just like, come on.
That could be on a T-shirt. I could have just turned on you tomorrow, but I didn't. And a roll up of death, or kind of a roll up of death, or something like that. But Bayley was pinned by Alexa. So now it's down to Alexa and Sasha. And how about that Twisted Bliss spot off the top of the pod was pretty sweet. And
it was a good spot.
Yeah, and Banks in the end, she was going to climb the pod, but Bliss tripped her up, and she goes face first into the glass. And then Bliss hits a draping DDT off the top rope for the pinfall. And your first winner of the Women's Elimination Chamber match is Alexa Bliss, and still your Raw Women's Champion. Match went about 30 minutes. And Matt, as far as the first Women's Chamber match goes, I think it was a huge success. They did a lot of great chamber spots within there. I think the action was good. I think for the first time, the women going into that structure, I think it was a success. Do you agree?
No, the match was good. Just like I said, creatively, the Sasha Bayley thing didn't really make sense in the context of what they were going for, to me anyway. I mean, I know we're probably getting Sasha Bayley at Mania, but I've been saying that for months now. To me, it just didn't make any sense to go like the route they chose to go. Mm-hmm. But like I said, it is what it is, and WWE does what they want, even when it doesn't make any sense. But I still think it would. It was good for what it was. And the match was really good. You can't discount the work that any of those women put into this match. I mean, they all busted their ass and worked really hard. And I thought it was a very successful first Women's Chamber, and I'm sure we'll continue to see it again in the future. I don't think this is a one-off. I definitely think they're going to keep on doing Women's Chambers going forward.
Mm-hmm. And Bliss is then interviewed by Renee Young. A tearful Bliss to start it off. So just as you're thinking she's cutting a babyface promo, then old vintage Alexa Bliss comes in and tells you how you're not going to accomplish your dreams. So that's good to know.
Oh, well.
Next up is The Bar versus Titus Worldwide. I thought maybe this might be the surprise then with Alexa Bliss going out.
I couldn't believe you actually thought the titles were going to change here. I saw your tweet, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
I figured something's got to happen if everything else is going to go to chalk, but apparently not. But
you often forget how much by the book WWE just plays everything on the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah. I thought Apollo did good in this match, though. I thought he looked really solid.
He definitely shouldn't have been the guy to take the pinfall. That's for damn sure.
No, he took it though.
Well, he took it. I'm just saying it was a bad call.
Yep, I agree. But double white noise onto Apollo after 11 minutes, and The Bar retains for that match. So then they show a commercial for the Andre the Giant documentary airing on HBO April 10th, which is the Tuesday after WrestleMania.
Which I think we're going to get heavy emphasis on the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal this year due to that.
You think it does? You think it's on the main show this year? Finally,
yes, I do. I think somebody important is going to win, and they're going to make a much bigger deal out of it this year than they have in years past, due to the fact that that special's coming out right afterwards.
April 10th is a Tuesday, so I wonder if that'll air at 9 right after SmackDown goes off the air, or what time that goes on. I'm not sure yet. Next up is Nia Jax and Asuka, and if Nia wins, she's added to Asuka's match at Mania. I thought Nia and Asuka had a hell of a match here, Matt. You agree?
Oh yeah, the match was really good. The finish was never in doubt.
No.
I mean, anybody that actually thought that Asuka was going to lose that match, I congratulations at your first time watching the product. I hope you enjoyed the show.
So it's the first time that almost the entire kickoff panel has watched the product. Then apparently,
yeah, it's really sad when Peter Rosenberg has to be the
man of reason.
Yes, it's just like really.
I thought it was well done by both ladies. Of course, they have had a match before. They WWE kind of wanted you to forget about it apparently because they had made no mention of their match at NXT before that.
Hell, they didn't even make mention of the match where Asuka beat Nia Jax on Raw like a month ago.
Well, that too. Yeah. Again,
they're totally acting like these two had never squared off in the ring before. It just
they wanted to play it so hard how she's such a big threat to Asuka.
The problem is nobody believes it because no offense to Nia Jax, because she has improved tremendously in the ring over the course of the past year, but the problem is she hasn't been booked as a monster on a long and consistent basis enough for anybody to believe that she was a threat to Asuka's streak.
I mean,
because everybody's beating Nia. Everybody.
A month ago, she was smooching with Enzo. So,
I mean, it's not even that. Like, I'm not taking anything away, like creative wise. She's lost.
Pointing towards the creative.
She's lost to Becky. She's lost to Sasha. She's lost to Bayley. She's lost to everybody. It doesn't do you any favors when you're trying to convince people that this person has a shot against a girl that hasn't lost a match in 3 years.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to buy that.
Yeah.
But, at the same token, nobody's buying that shit.
Yeah, and this was the one point probably the one singular point in the night where the crowd was good. The crowd was hot for this match. The dueling Nia and Asuka chants. The crowd was into this match. They were excited.
The only time the crowd really pissed me off was Hardy and Wyatt.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, I thought the crowd was fine.
They were kind of quiet for the men's chamber match, but that's because probably most of them knew what was going to happen. So.
Oh, I thought they were fine. When the crowd picked up was when they realized what was about to happen. Mm-hmm. When it dawned on them that Roman was winning.
Boo!
Yeah, they lost their shit. They're like, "What do you mean Roman's winning?" And they all just started flipping out. That made me laugh.
Yeah, that was
because it was like, really, you guys didn't see this coming a mile away.
Yeah, I mean that was only reported last March, a year ago.
Yeah, everybody knew the plan. If you've been listening to this show, you've known for months that the plan for WrestleMania will always be Roman and Brock Lesnar. I mean, Vince had this set. He didn't steer from it. This is what he wanted to do. And, it's just the way it is. I know there's some people are still having a hell of a trouble accepting it, but it's done. What's done is done, essentially, and I think y'all just need to let it go.
Yeah, I mean,
we're getting Styles and Nakamura, for fuck's sake. What more do you want? I could understand it if the SmackDown match was going to end up being not what you wanted to, but we're getting, a match that just tore the roof down at the Tokyo Dome a few years ago. And there's a lot of WWE fans that have never seen that match.
Yeah.
And if they give these guys time, to go in there and just do it, it's going to be freaking awesome.
I mean, yeah, how about we just have free agent John Cena take on Randy Orton at WrestleMania? Would that make you happy too, fans,
Nobody wants to see that.
Why
would you even suggest such a thing?
And probably this was
I want to punch you for suggesting that.
Hey, I'm saying it could be worse to the fans here that are bitching. And apparently the theme of tonight, Matt, was get your heat back, because Asuka got her heat back and Strowman got his heat back, and
Nia got her heat back.
Strowman
wasn't getting his heat back. Strowman was sending the crowd home happy.
Yeah, good point.
That's what that was. The crowd wasn't happy. Vince knew they weren't going to be happy, because Vince did what Vince wanted to do, but he still sent the crowd home happy with Strowman taking out Roman to end the night. And I didn't have a problem with that. I thought it was a good way to end the show. Like, don't tell me Strowman needed his heat back. Strowman pretty much single-handedly beat everybody in that chamber.
Yeah.
And it took a million finishers before he himself was actually defeated. Like, if you think for 1 second that Strowman didn't come out of this match better than he was going in, I don't know what to tell you. Because Strowman was booked like a fucking animal. So, I think I think anybody that's like not happy with the way Strowman was portrayed tonight, I'm at a loss of how to make you feel better about that.
Next up is Woken Matt Hardy against Bray Wyatt. Little mind games from the Woken Warrior Matt Hardy in the beginning, as Bray did his little trick to get into the ring, and Matt was gone, and Matt started got on the microphone and started laughing, and Wyatt looked under the ring. He might have found Hornswoggle, I don't know, but Hardy was actually waiting on top of the steel steps and attacked him from there. I thought that was a pretty cool opening. Then the fans kind of ruined it with their fucking beach ball shit again. Where's Cesaro? Where's Cesaro when we need him?
Yeah, no shit.
I got to give props to Matt Hardy, though, for kind of reeling the crowd back in, at least.
Dude, a lesser guy wouldn't have been able to do that, because that crowd was pretty far gone midway through that match.
Yeah, even Rusev Day took over.
Yeah, him being able to, like, dude, that's the only, dude, at least that was a WWE-centric chant. I'd rather a crowd chant Rusev Day than toss around a beach ball and do stupid shit that.
And then chant that they want the beach ball.
Yeah, fucking idiots.
And then the fuckers did a wave, and yeah. Seriously, I don't get it. Matt Hardy wins with a twist of fate.
I don't get it either, man.
Matt Hardy wins with a twist of fate after he countered the Sister Abigail. So, as we both predicted on Wednesday show or Thursday show, 1-1. So maybe at the House Hardy, because look what's on the back of the robe tonight, there, Matt.
Yep, House Hardy.
House Hardy. Decent match. Again, the crowd took away from it. Went about 10 minutes.
Here's the question I have for you.
Yeah.
Do you feel that Mania is the rubber match, or do you feel this was the first in the series because in the build-up video, they kind of completely ignored that Raw 25 ever happened?
Yeah.
Like, are we tied 1-1, or are we supposed to just forget about that match at the Manhattan Center? Like, I'm not sure.
I guess that'll be answered tomorrow.
Yeah, because I'm not really sure how to take that, because I figured that the Hardy Wyatt match from Raw 25 would be touched upon in the video package, and they just completely ignored it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I wonder.
I didn't even think about that.
I wonder if we're supposed to forget about that, or if that's, just another part of the deal, type of thing. I was wondering what you thought about that.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. So I would say let's see what happens tomorrow, but Mania is still 6 weeks away, so it's hard. I don't know if we'll even get that answer tomorrow or not.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. They didn't even mention it. So, and Cole probably didn't say anything either after the win, right?
No, I don't recall anybody mentioning on commentary about it. That's why I was just curious of how you figured that was meant for us to take. Like, are we just supposed to forget about that match happening, or what's the dealio?
Well, that was me trying to use logic. I saw this happen with my own two eyes, but WWE is going to try to make me forget that. Get the Men in Black thing out and forget that it ever happened. So yeah, I never even thought about it until you brought it up. So now that you brought it up and that they didn't bring it up, if they don't bring it up tomorrow, I don't know. But I still think they're heading for a final deletion match at Mania. I
surely hope so.
Vince knows how money those filmed matches were for Impact. Vince knows that. So, and he even did it himself with Wyatt and Orton last year. So, I still think we're heading towards that, regardless of what. It'd be dumb to completely forget about Raw 25, but
I just hope Vince. I hope Vince stays his hands off. If that's the direction they're going to go.
Yeah.
Like, I really hope Vince is his hands off is absolutely possible.
There's a guy just got hired. You could give a call.
That's what I'm.
He's got some direct. He's got some directorial experience in those matters. Yeah. Next up was the Ronda Rousey contract signing. I was kind of worried and wondering how the crowd was going to react to it. Because over the past month, the mention of her name has drawn boos. I think people are thinking they're just going to shoot the rocket straight up her ass. She didn't get a big pop, I don't think, when she came out in Vegas, but I think Vegas was more worried about beach balls than seeing Rowdy Ronda Rousey in person. There was a poll. WWE put out a poll. Do you think she should go straight for the title? 70% said no. And Ronda said that herself on the microphone. That's another thing, Matt. People immediately want to jump on Rousey for not cutting a great promo. Well, A, it was an emotional moment, so you got to give her a pass for that, okay? B, she hasn't really had much training in promos yet. I mean, she was filming a movie until just a week ago. She's been trying to wrestle, so giving her shit for the promo that she cut,
I didn't even think the promo was that bad. I think she was just...
People were shitting on it.
I think she was overly emotional.
Yeah, she was.
And that's not a bad thing. I like the fact that she was overcome with emotion because it showed you how much this actually meant to her.
Exactly.
And how much she truly wants to be there. To me, that's really fucking important. To show, legitimately show the world, hey, I want to be here. This isn't, just humdrum whatever. I'm here because I want to be here. And I thought it was great. I like to see the real emotion coming from her like that. To me, that meant more than cutting an amazing promo that I maybe feel didn't come from the heart. Maybe it was just read off a script.
Yeah.
I liked what we got from her tonight, and I have a hard time understanding the people that wouldn't have liked it. And if you didn't like it, maybe you're just looking for a reason to hate. And sadly, a lot of people do that. So
Rousey shook hands with Hunter and Steph and gave Angle a hug. I thought that was kind of funny. how she just shook hands with him and then hugs Angle. Steph welcomes Rousey to the WWE. Said the fans wanted to hear from Rousey, so Rousey says she's often not speechless, but to be in the ring with them, especially Angle, as someone who can truly appreciate an Olympic champion accomplishment. And at least at this point with the fans in attendance, they weren't worried about her getting choked up. A good Ronda Rousey chant started for her there. I think people just immediately assumed Vince booking, we're going to book her like Cena and Reigns, I guess, and that's why they started booing the mention of her name at past Raws. But I think the crowd was fine here. She said she wouldn't be here without her hero, Roddy Piper, who was her inspiration for her MMA career, and he wants to make him proud, and the name he entrusted in her.
And she's absolutely telling the truth there. She's not, she's not blowing smoke up people's ass.
No.
Yeah, I mean, this is all freaking legitimate.
Triple H opens up the contract and says to Rousey's credit, she didn't want anything special, no special travel, no private cars, nothing different than anybody else. And Triple H told Rousey she wants an invite to WrestleMania, but when she signs this contract, she'll be competing in a match at WrestleMania. Rousey said she appreciated the opportunity, was about ready to sign the contract, but saw Angle and Trips having a little discussion. Rousey asked Angle if he had anything to say. Angle said that Triple H and Stephanie have wanted to manipulate you ever since you attacked them at WrestleMania 31. I wonder how old she... Okay. WWE.
I wish they... I hate to go off on a diatribe here, but I feel bad for Kurt. Because Kurt was much better on the microphone in the Attitude Era, as it were, when you were just given bullet points and they let you go out there and talk. Yeah. Kurt being forced to memorize lines is not good for Kurt.
No.
Just let Kurt be Kurt. Tell him what needs to get across and let him go from there. He doesn't need, to be reading off a script to do what he needs to do. I feel they're hurting Kurt on the microphone simply because they won't allow him to speak freely. So you had asked when it was time to #Ask Angle, you had asked when's he going to address what happened at Survivor Series. Well, I think the only reason I did that is because I kind of figured he was going to be Rousey's tag partner, so I decided to be a smart ass.
So Angle answered you in the ring by saying, "Yeah, Hunter said that it's 3 years in the making, and now they own the bitch." No.
Dude, I popped so fucking hard for the reactions off of that. It was hilarious.
Hunter's like, "Yeah, Kurt ain't feeling any well. That flu's going around. It's time to go get him a doctor." And then Stephanie's trying to say that's all kayfabe, but we're impressed by you, and then now I'm kissing your ass again, and Angle got
ass kissing, brother.
One more thing. Stephanie said Ron was a has-been, and Stephanie thinks that she could even take her. Oh, that led to that Rousey stare that you don't want. And Triple H got back into the ring, broke it up, and she gave a little belly to belly to Hunter through a table. How fucking sweet was that, Matt?
What's funny is so many people for the first time ever saw the Rousey stare tonight, and I mean that's her trademark. Battle UFC stare, and it was perfect for what was needed tonight, and it was great. I
tried everything out of my power. I almost accidentally automatically said belly to belly because I'm so used to saying that, but I got out belly to belly.
Nerd.
Yeah. Stephanie with a legit slap in the face. Word is backstage she had a handprint on her face. That was legit, and the crowd
Welcome
chanting.
To the business.
And the crowd, of course, coming back with a great one. You fucked up chant. That was great. And Rousey stared at Stephanie, who got the fuck out of Dodge. And she picks up the contract, signs it, and throws it onto Trips. And that's the end of that segment. Great great contract signing, great way to introduce Rousey to the WWE. I thought it was a great thing. And I figured out how to say Kurt Angle's WWE now, Matt.
I noticed.
It's Dubba Dubba. Dubba Dubba. It's Dubba Dubba. WWE. Ladies and gentlemen, Elias. And Elias does his usual song and dance to this tonight was no Pearl Jam, Matt. It was a little GNR Patience. So
finally,
no Pearl Jam. So Elias sings a song for us, and he was gonna sing another one for us, but then Braun Strowman's music hits, and yeah, Elias couldn't have gotten into his pod any quicker.
I'm so glad he didn't take the guitar in. I know a lot of people wanted that, but I feel that would have been annoying as shit to have to listen to Elias play the guitar the entire match. I just felt it would have been a really annoying distraction that I'm really glad they didn't make us suffer through.
I thought Strowman was gonna destroy the guitar on the pod on Elias's pod and just make him shit his pants in there. But no, Strowman just got into his pod, and then comes John. What am I going to do for WrestleMania? Jack Cena, and the announcers had to play up how this is important for Cena, because if he doesn't win, we don't know what he's doing on April 8th. I mean, WrestleCon, here we come. Roman Reigns comes out to the usual Mark boos, and then The Miz comes out. The Miz is kind of talking shit to each pod as he walks by, and then he walks by Strowman's pod, and Strowman scares the living bejesus out of him. And I'm sitting here by
damn funny.
I'm sitting here in the basement by myself, and I let out an audible, loud laugh when that happened. I fucking lost it when
dude. Strowman... It was hilarious.
Yeah, I know. It was so good. Once again, another reason why Strowman's the GOAT. Word is it took about 15 minutes from Elias starting singing till when the match started. So, and I don't know why they even had to stretch it out, because, like I said, like there's still 5 minutes in the match at 6 after 10 my time. I'm like, but it didn't bother me that they stretched it out, because I thought Elias was entertaining as always, and then Strowman got to scare the shit out of Miz. And Miz selling it was, made it just as good too. So, and props to Matt for guessing the first three into the Elimination Chamber. As Balor and Rollins, who had to work their way to get in, and Miz, who lost his way to be first. They all start the match. Miz tries to start an Elias with Rollins, and Rollins like, yeah, fuck you. So then Miz throws up the 2-sweet. Balor's like, yeah, fuck you. But then Rollins like to Balor, hey, why don't we beat up the Miz? Okay. And before we talk about the action, Matt, how about Finn Bluler? Shades of Blutista.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand WWE fans' obsession with wrestlers when they come out wearing blue. I mean, me personally, I just prefer Balor in all black, unless he's doing the demon gimmick. But if he wants to come out in different colors, I don't freaking care. I think I truly feel like people on Twitter just made, way too big a deal out of it.
Well, I think it looked weird on Batista, and I think it looked weird on Balor. I think that's why they made the big deal, because it was just the same color almost, and kind of funny. So Miz and Balor and Rollins mix it up until the clock hits 0, and John, what am I going to do for WrestleMania? Jack Cena comes in, and he does his 5 moves of doom, which made me wonder if he was going to be the first one eliminated, and wonder what he's going to do for WrestleMania.
That would have been funny.
I was hoping that was going to be the case, but nah. It should have. It almost just should have been, just to add to the story. I get why they had Miz get pinned first, and otherwise I probably figured it would have been Balor that got pinned first, and so somebody's got to get pinned first. Why not be Cena?
No, I was happy Balor. I thought Balor had a good showing in the Chamber.
Yeah, he did.
I thought they did as good with him as they could have, and once again, he was ripped out of the jaws of victory to the jaws of defeat 2 times in the last year. He's hit the coup de grace on Roman Reigns in a multi-man match to immediately be eliminated afterwards before being able to capture the pinfall on Reigns.
Yeah.
It happened at the multi-man match with for the Universal title shot over in the summer when Samoa Joe choked him out afterwards, and it happened here with Strowman.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shoulda, woulda, coulda. Twice in a row now. Balor should have had him. You have that thing in the back of your mind that if Balor would have just been able to cover him, Balor would have eliminated Reigns.
He had him on the first night. That's all the pinfalls he's getting. He had him on the first night.
Calm down.
Roman Reigns, the big dog at number 5. And then number 6 is Strowman. And Miz hightails it for the hills after Strowman attacked everybody else. Then Miz gets eliminated by Strowman once Strowman finally caught him. I was like, oh god. When Strowman threw the Miz off the top of the pod, I was like, is Strowman going to do a crossbody off the top? Oh, wouldn't that have been something? But no, he just got back down off the chamber. But still a sweet moment when he Olympic tossed the Miz off the chamber, right?
Oh yeah, I thought it was cool.
I was hoping he'd do like a crossbody off the top. That would have been so funny.
I think they were worried he might have killed somebody.
Yeah, somebody might have got killed.
I think that's why they decided to not go in that direction.
Somebody might have got killed. He could have done a missile drop kick from up there, right?
Like I said, I think he could have.
Yeah, he could have. Yeah.
But I think it probably wouldn't have been the best decision to make. So, I feel like I get why they did what they did.
The buzzer goes off for the 7th entrant, which we all know is Elias. And if you've ever seen the movie Friday, when Debo goes to the old man, you want some old man? Nope. And Elias gently closes the door and says, I don't want some. I don't want these hands. And then an amazing round of let's beat up Braun Strowman busted out where Cena, Reigns, Balor, and Rollins all hit their finishers after they did a quadruple shield bomb onto Strowman. And that you'd figure would have put the big man down, but he was able to roll out to the outside, which in years past you were able to pin them there, but not now, which is weird. But I think you should still be able to pin them on the outside.
It's been years since they let you pin out there. Years.
But speaking of that outside, Matt, it's a good thing that they kind of redesigned the chamber, because that one when Strowman tossed Rollins over the top rope and I watched Rollins bounce off that mat, I'm like, thank God that wasn't the steel that used to be there.
I'm sure he was thankful as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was amazing to me how many people on my timeline during the women's chamber match were going, "Why the fuck is there padding? Why is there padding out here?" And I'm like,
let me throw you over the top rope and have you land on that.
No, it's not even that. Like they were acting like the padding was introduced for the women.
Oh no, it was there
and
last year.
I'm like, dude, this was part of the redesign. It was there last year.
Yep.
This isn't something new. You just weren't paying attention.
Yep. I was the continuing improvement of Elias. That electric chair sit out power bomb by Elias on Roman Reigns was pretty fucking cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, can't hate.
He tried to do the same to Strowman, and I think the entire WWE universe went, not a good idea. And Strowman just basically sat on Elias and then running power slam, and Elias drifts away. Strowman picked up Reigns for the power slam, but Rollins jumps off the top with a knee. Balor hits a shotgun drop kick onto Strowman, followed by a Superman punch. Cena goes off the top rope, but Strowman caught him into a running power slam. And probably Matt's favorite GIF of 2018 will be Cena sitting on the chamber as the door closes.
I wish he would have sat there for the rest of the match. That's what I wanted.
I
wanted him to sit there crying the entire match.
How'd that go again? Yeah. Gong.
Exactly.
Now,
I'm telling you, it's happening tomorrow.
Well, no, now.
Look,
After what Cena said on Raw Talk, I think he's calling him out tomorrow.
Look, the only way it doesn't happen tomorrow is if Cena's not there and they send Cena to SmackDown on Tuesday and he called in a favor from brother-in-law Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
And he gets into the six-pack challenge. They make it a six-pack challenge at Fastlane. So he has yet another chance to go to WrestleMania, Jack. And then he loses that match too. And then after Fastlane, he goes out on Raw to cry about not having a road to WrestleMania. And then Undertaker comes out. They could drag this out a couple more weeks if they choose to.
I think you just got it exactly right. My initial thought was, because I was so... He's like WWE etiquette. And
I think he's gonna go wind.
He's gonna weasel his way into Fastlane. That's what's gonna happen.
Because he's a free agent.
Yep, free agent John Cena.
Yep.
That's what's gonna happen. My initial thought was just that he's calling out the Undertaker. You know, he's gonna. I was kind of thrown with the etiquette part, so I thought, okay, well, he's gonna call him out now instead of just whine about it, and then the gong hits. He's gonna call out the Undertaker, and we probably won't. He won't answer for a while, and then all of a sudden, when Cena at least expects it.
Because I think his whole etiquette thing is I don't normally politic, and ask for title shots, but Jack, when WrestleMania is on the line, I get a call in a favor, brah.
Yeah.
And that's what if he's not on Raw tomorrow night, I guarantee you that's what's going to happen. Yeah. If he is on Raw, they're not going to do it. But if he's not on Raw tomorrow, and they announce sometime during Raw, or they announce on social media that John's going to be at SmackDown Tuesday, that 5-pack's becoming a 6-pack challenge.
Yeah.
So, poor AJ Styles.
Well, he's going to win it anyway. So.
Well, I know, but Jesus Christ. He's really all the fans want to see him in Nakamura. Why are you putting all these obstacles in his path? You stupid idiots.
Stupid idiots. Got it, Miss Jericho. As Matt mentioned, Balor hit the coup de grace on Roman, but then Strowman hits the running power slam on Balor. Goodbye, Finn. We're down to 3. Reigns, Rollins, Strowman. Reigns and Rollins work together and send Strowman onto the outside and beat the shit out of him, run him into the cage. And then Rollins turns on Roman. Okay, that made just a whole lot of sense when you've got a fucking monster.
Like I said, about as much sense as the women's match made earlier.
You got a fucking monster.
So at least they were consistent.
You got a fucking monster that's eliminated every single guy that's no longer in the match. And you want to turn on Roman because that's going to give you an advantage. Yeah, okay.
Like I said, at least their creative's consistent. Stupid for the men, stupid for the women. Stupid for everybody.
Couple of super kicks by Reigns, or a couple of super kicks by Rollins onto Strowman. He was going to try to hit the blackout for a second time onto Strowman, but Strowman caught him. Running power slam. Good night, sweet prince. So now we're down to Braun and Reigns, and we got ourselves only about a 3-minute battle, but it was they definitely gave us a good 3 minutes worth. I mean, this was one of the best. I felt like feuds.
At this rate they'd fought long. The match has gone long enough anyway.
Yeah, we're hitting about the 40-minute mark of the match, and these guys had a great feud, and so. They put together a good 3 minutes of a shitload of action with nobody's surprised Roman Reigns hitting a spear and then a spear again.
Question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you think the contract signing went long? Like, do you like to contribute a reason for this pay-per-view going so far into overtime. Do you think the contract signing took longer than they anticipated?
Had to be, because the 2 chamber matches were just 30 and 39 minutes. So I thought the chamber matches were going to be longer, to be honest. So they were shorter. So it had
honestly,
to have
we could have done without Titus Worldwide and the bar, and I think the pay-per-view would have been structured a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, because Matt and Bray went 10 minutes, Asuka and Nia went 10 minutes, and Bar and Titus Worldwide went 11 minutes.
Weird.
So the matches, the non-chamber matches went almost all the same length. So that was probably planned out pretty good. So yeah, maybe the contract signing. But again, I mentioned it to you. From the time Elias played his guitar to ring the bell ringing was 15 minutes. So. And did you notice they kind of cut out a little bit of Balor's theme now? He does.
They've been doing that with a lot of people lately.
He does the arm thing.
Trimming the theme down a little bit.
Yeah, he's been doing the arm thing a lot sooner into the. I think that's the first time they've done it with Balor. Obviously, they've cut down Bobby Roode's because, we don't need a minute piano every time before, but.
Well, that minute piano was only ever played for the pay-per-views. They never played that on a.
It was a little longer
on regular matches,
but still, like his regular NXT matches, it was still a little longer, wasn't it?
I don't think so. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Predictable, but as Matt and I say, with NXT and Impact Wrestling, a couple shows that are taped, as long as it's executed predictable is not bad, or the fact that, not really predictable is a word. With NXT and Impact, we know what's going to happen most times because we look at the spoilers.
Yeah.
So just comparing the two and saying it's predictable. Hey, it was a great show. Thanks to everybody that voted on our poll. No surprise that only 3% voted A. Because Roman Reigns walked out with the number 1 contendership. But B's were the winners at 41% and C's at 37%. Only 17% gave it a D or an F, which you obviously got to do a little correction for the trolls and idiots out there. So, Matt,
I agree. I agree with our listeners. I give the show a solid B.
Yeah, nope, that's what I would vote too. So here we are going to WrestleMania. We already mentioned the tag team division, maybe a multi-man match. I don't know. We got 6 weeks to figure this out. I still honestly think it's going to be a Revival and Good Brothers feud, and the winner's going to take on the Bar eventually. I think that's how that's playing out. But it could still be a multi-man match. I mean, Vince is sure in that multi-man mood now, isn't he?
Yeah, and I mean, it's the easiest way to go about it at Mania anyway. If you want to get as many people on the card as possible, the multi-man matches are the easiest way to do it.
You got the Battle Royal now, though.
Some people don't like that, but I mean,
you got the Battle
Royal is like the consolation prize. Sorry, we couldn't find absolutely anything else to put you in, so we're going to put you in the Battle Royal. The only reason the Battle Royal might be important this year is because I feel like somebody important will win it. But I feel like as soon as we know...
maybe this is where Joe wins it.
Oh, God, what a waste of Samoa Joe. I mean...
But you're saying someone important.
Yes, they really don't have anything else to... Thanks to the injury, I don't really know if they have anything else to do for him this year. So, yeah, I mean, fuck it. Let him win the Battle Royal. If it gets him a fucking push afterwards, I'm all for it. It sucks. We thought we were going to get him at Mania last year, and he couldn't find a spot for him on the card. And now, there's a chance he's going to miss it again out of injury, and that fucking sucks, dude. Like, that really sucks.
We still are thinking pretty heavily that Asuka's going to choose Charlotte, so what do we do with the women?
It's going to be Nia.
think it's going to be Nia? I brought that up on Thursday.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Nia. I think they'll do a qualifying match or whatever, and I feel that they will. And I feel that Nia will win that. So.
You still feel strongly of Sasha and Bayley?
I do, absolutely.
So, Absolution, maybe a pre-show match. Maybe you put DeVille and Rose in against Mickie James and there's nobody left. Dude,
really. I'm still calling for the first annual Fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal.
Oh, yeah.
You got to get all the women on the show. Because if you're going to do it with the men, you got to do it with the women. So, at this point, I see them.
That'll probably be on the pre-show.
I see them. Yeah, they can do that on the pre-show, but I mean, hell, they're still on the show. Yeah. So I could definitely see them doing that. Honestly, I would be surprised if we don't get that. Or some form along those lines. Maybe they don't use that name, but I feel like that's what we're going to end up getting.
Yeah. And we're pretty confident of Hardy Wyatt 3 at Mania.
Yes, I definitely think we're getting that too.
I think we're getting Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, I think. I'm not sure.
Are you serious? Are you serious right now?
Roman Reigns won from the 5th position, which is now got a bigger lead over the 6th position for entering the chamber. The 5th position had won the most. I think it was ahead by 2 from over the 6th position. Now it's ahead by 3, somewhere around there. That poor number 2 position still is winless. The only position that is winless in the chamber is the number 2 position. And that was the joke going into it. A lot of people thought Reigns would enter in at number 2 and to win from there. But
how can you technically enter at number 2?
You'd be the second guy introduced, basically. Then of course Bliss wins from the 6th position in the women's match there. What do you do with Braun? Do you continue him and Elias? I feel like
that's where clearly he's not going to do the tag match because clearly that's going to be Kurt's job.
I think you're right on. I think you're right on with Balor and Miz. Maybe.
I don't think I am anymore. I think that's going to be Braun's spot.
You think Braun, Miz, and Balor Rollins? Balor and Rollins.
Could be Balor and Rollins for going for the tag titles.
They team up for the tag titles. That's what I meant.
They very well could go that route.
So then you have a Braun and Miz. Yeah, Braun and Miz.
And dude, it'll be like a 30-second squash.
And Elias will be
it kind of sucks for the Miz, but
Elias will be the first man to enter the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. He'll be sitting there playing guitar.
I don't know what they're gonna. Honestly, I don't know what they're gonna do with Elias at Mania. I'm not sure of that yet. Not sure what their plan is.
Well, if they don't do Braun and Miz, I think they could continue Elias and Braun feud. Other than that,
I guess.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Lost the Midcard, our Elimination Chamber review show. And as always, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. What you got to do is search for Lost the Midcard, hit that subscribe button. That way you know an new episode comes your way every Thursday and Monday after a WWE pay-per-view. And you can also subscribe to us on the YouTube. The links to all that on our Facebook page and our Twitter. Go to Facebook.com/LostOfTheMidcard. It's on the pinned post there and on our pinned tweet at LITMC Podcast. Matt is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. I am on the Twitter at JB Huskers. And before we go right off into that sunset and see what happens on Monday, Matt, what are your final thoughts?
I want to see Ronda Rousey and Stephanie McMahon become the modern-day Stone Cold and Vince McMahon.
That'd be fun.
I want to see this. I want to see this be carried on well beyond Mania because it's about time after all these years that Stephanie starts taking the advice of the way her father handled things and starts showing her ass. And
She's definitely going to have an arm bent over on April 8th. We know that.
But I just mean it's time. She always gets over on everybody without,
repercussions.
Yes, and it's about time that things are booked in a different way.
It's about time someone beats that ass.
Yeah, and I think they could do that for at least a year.
Yeah,
they could run with a feud of Stephanie and Ronda, and I really think it would work. So it's not like Stephanie has to be in the ring all the time, but Ronda can be that badass, that goes against the boss, and she can beat up Stephanie all the time, and I think it would be great. And I think that's something a lot of people would like to see. Let's face it, people want to see Stephanie get her ass beat. So, I think that could really work out in a big way, if they choose to go that route. So those are my final thoughts.
That'd be cool. I'll leave you with one final thought here, Matt. Rumors are that Heyman is somehow going to screw Lesnar to help Roman win and then join Roman. Do you even see that happening?
No.
Yeah,
I could definitely see Heyman sticking around after Lesnar leaves, and he could be an advocate for somebody else, like maybe like Samoa Joe or something like that. But I most certainly do not see in any way, shape, or form that he's going to turn on Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Maybe he turns on Brock the night after. Joe comes out and, confronts Brock and Heyman turns on him there and goes with Joe because, maybe they're going to write Brock off. We didn't mention it earlier, but it is most certainly worth mentioning that tonight Dana White decided to tweet a picture with a big smiley emoji of him standing with Brock Lesnar wearing a UFC t-shirt.
Yeah.
That was not done by accident. That timing was not, like an accident by Dana White, like at all. To me, this is Dana White's revenge in his mind for WWE taking Rousey away from him. So I think they're going to work something out. I think Brock's done this year, and I think Brock's going to get a big money UFC deal, and he's going to be gone.
For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost the Midcard. We will be back at you on Thursday.